My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Me TMO argument to them. Me say maybe you want minimum because problems are all Ghana. If we continue to politicize it now, yet me and so there will be no solution to it. It doesn't contribute. Actually, I mean, give you examples in the world what is going on. Okay.
Mama, yentio, and he now near na Niapasa Umayetiano.
When the president said, the problem and yet engineering, you have to understand, maybe say, I have always been talking about PhD, patriotism, honesty, and discipline. Discipline is a major problem in this country. One, obi ekoto sachet water or no not be atufu or titrotro. One day, 37 military hospital run about and here traffic ya stop. Now obi ti trotro wajin siofri girl nijo or no yano or the atufu. I'm catching a girl no or no phone siom say on fat there no in free football. Young girl, or did he matter? Or more, all tall station. That means you Lincoln town car, a Lincoln navigator. Share car, a crummy that time, girl, no arm for the crew, did he matter? Because, let me say, at the end of the Panajato for on the former to on fat at the end in free. Two, any pana on also a norm at the end. Ensure. Argentina went in young fat, sachet empty, no, and kura. Now we do baby and that's been what to up. You see, we have to speak the truth. And I am no say. They call campaign office, my campaign office. I say, all along, I said, a gata. Not knowing, and then I'm quite, have you any clean? Actually, and also, a sumo, but a fear. A free, a slow ebano, all along, I say a gata. Until that, a siono tall gidigia, and clean, and I will say, clean water is free. Man from a briho, a slow, and ever, and nemoa, ever from your offer, a villaggio, a cheap, a pop, baby, a combo, I don't know. Indisciplined here. President in the car, I will say, Yen, if we can correct it, then you know, see a gentleman. I also agree that President, should be bold and don't politicize the say, Yachi, Minipa, or MDC, Yankoiro, or MTP, Yankoiro. What did I have in this approach to radio so one more than day, one more than day? So, who near MPP in a Koya, but Yachina demonstration. Say Yachi MPP, antagonizing MPP4. Say NDC and MPP4 also near Chinua. NDC4 because demonstration. Say antagonizing MPP4. This is the problem we have in this country. We are using politics to destroy the country. Because more argument, if the president says, one of the reasons in discipline, we have to admit. Because of the river or the river lagoon, a good insurance, Dubai, the same size of waterway. But it is so. I keep saying this. And are you expecting the president to go around all the time to inspect a form you clean? Now, what BB said, ensure regional minister, it is duty. It is duty. Abayo, dear was to be a company. Assembly a 30 years. And yeah, Ochako. Me were factories where for a bubble, and I'm near him for no. My way, we call you arrangements, we know. You ever can't assassin nothing. My friend, Zambian company will generate electricity. A medium representative, no bar. I know, or said, oh, and what ensure what was H, and you're good for us. Because we can expand it. What you are in can and kabab wire pa if he said and call for basis you have done up block waterway no stab it and then follow a buy the grey woman in the end quite cheap but they were able to convince me say but you could down every because real estate follow SEC have done up block waterways. It boils down to the indiscipline again. I buy the upper now or try to walk clean now politicians be a question for fortune and your propaganda against the government. Hello.
Me
What you mean that?
me too pa.
Yeah, thank you. Say Mr. President Tragasa identify said indiscipline. We want to ask him a big question. What is he doing about it? Two, what about Ghanaians doing about it? First, for the past 2 months, I've been going to India and China. Now, in discipline, go to China and see cleanliness. Monsa Kenneth, he has been indoctrinated because we're American against China. Here for the fact, what if this are 10 years, 9 years in Onkoy? This time I'm in a coy. The boy in a meeting told the Chinese brother, the American passport, no more money, Chinese passport. Madam, the camera, and your big window, flowers, I yet clear, the lanes outside and inner a union. Neat, meaning. India, filled. You have no idea. India they do a Ghana approach. Why? Because they don't obey traffic lights. They don't obey anything. I have a meeting with Chinese group 5 p.m. When we were there, what's here? Many become red lighter. You have to pay the ticket. So the guy is so disciplined because the systems work. We are they'll punish you, and yes, we'll be a difficult now party after a press conference. Yes, we'll be a difficult. Really, we're difficult. And you're difficult with it. You got the courage to go and demonstrate. And then in that country, this one, and your MPP, and then only a ring in NDC MPP. What our power? Now we are here politics. What you here? How would you change this country? One country now to go buy any Arab countries, now discipline over. We have a monarchy and a dictatorship, and yet a democracy. You'll be tempted to make that statement. Because one person can make a decision that mistake. This is how Dubai should look like in the next 5-10 years. And everybody will be. When the president says, this is the way we are going, opposition vote, whether it's good or not, because of selfish interest, will say, we are going to kick against it because that's not power. It's dialogue first. The country set. And the argument somewhere, if the president comes out to say, indiscipline, let's charge him, indiscipline, so do it for us, change the system. But not just condemn and say, what kind of discipline?
So, honorable, on that note, no, send your can say, I mean, places like China, said they are said, compare the streets of China to that of the street of Ghana, Accra specifically. Now, that's been crown over travel so many you wouldn't see one in Accra. China. Now, quite many faswa. Yes, so no, you bet me adapt it, whatever they are doing over there.
The answer is simple. People should be punished for the wrongdoing.
Yes, that's it.
I don't care how you feel.
Yes.
So, Obi to me, every what we are saying, the tongue and young chica, no jerk who where is the assembly? TMA, one Tinya, anybody who is in charge should be fired. Should be fired. Around to make sure that any power within the Kubeku are walking. Because so you make sure that Omas is at the NFL. And my answer, any solution to it, that people should be punished for wrongdoings. And politicians should stop politicizing it and make sure that we have reward and punishment introduced in this country. Reward and punishment. Only Paniadia, Yamonabaso, only Paniadia, Yam punishment. And yet, Ghana, forget it. Because maybe I can go to Dubai. That will come see energy. Now, share a sure devil. Need the way a fear expensive for a comfort. Now, me back or dog. Now, they don't even believe you. Tourism, why never to me about say, okay, a pronounce say, beach ho. Now, where's the bar? Sure, a simple. How? A simple. How do you promote tourism? In discipline. So in discipline, the government, the citizens, we should all begin to discuss it. We should all begin to discuss it. It's about rule and several out. Because the consumer community reference, every assured thing here, what way to my problem is still in discipline. Real estate for now. Assembly for every do music. They know. I don't know about this. Land that for every because a crown we are a tiny a year to and so no much. It is in discipline. So let's talk about this. I have told you patriotism, honesty, and discipline. And on our president, now it should be a discussion. Let's discuss this. And see all media houses, all Ghanaians, stakeholders, and what Ghana. We should begin to talk about discipline. Now, you say you have politicized it because you can Agyapong a car when MPP didn't, NDP for against it. Mahama a car, NDP didn't, MPP against it. We are not being patriotic. We should love our country. And anywhere there's indiscipline, trust me, the country is so filthy. I will be going there again. I don't want to talk about comparing the two countries. I will go China and India near here. I will tell you what is going on. It's immeasurable. More argument, and yet nationalistic. And yet only politically cause. It came from the president who is an NDC. I don't care whoever makes that statement, but Yansha about a woman, not Yanni Ghana for. And begin to discuss how we can be disciplined and develop this country. Because the Chrome was far. Tourists, they will recommend their people. That is how we can also make money. I've been listening to me and we have to come but the lady have these one time.
The flooding in Accra is not an engineering problem. It is just a problem of indiscipline. It's not an engineering problem, it's a problem of indiscipline. We have drains, and everybody says, why don't you do sealed drains? But the problem is when we do sealed drains, people drink sachet water, they eat papaya in those styrofoam plastics, and they just dump them anywhere. And these plastics wash into the drain, and they go and block the drain. And so if you have to unclog the drain, you have to remove all the drain covers and clean it out. You clean it out, you cover it again. In the next 3, 4, 5 months, they have clogged again. But that is not even the major problem. The major problem is the location of Accra. You have the Agyapong mountain range. and you have the Atlantic Ocean. Before people came to Accra, you had the Lafa stream, you had the Densu, you had the Sakumo stream, you had the Kole stream, you had the Odo stream. All of them were rainwater that falls in the mountains that flow through to the Atlantic Ocean. Then you come and build a city in the path of those streams. What do you expect the streams to do? And even if you build, leave the causeways. If you come to London, you see the canals in the city. If you go and build a house in that canal, where will the water go? It will go back into people's houses. Unfortunately, Nanan Misremu, our traditional rulers are selling plots in streams. It's not this Nananuma I'm talking about. We have places they call Ramsar sites. These Ramsar sites are wetlands. And they said that migratory birds come from Europe during the winter. They come and spend vacation with us in Africa. Then when they finish the vacation and it's summer, they fly back. And they decided to protect the Ramsar sites because of the migratory birds. But let me tell you what the Ramsar sites do. They are wetlands. So when they receive the water from the Agyapong mountain range, the Ramsar sites are huge wetlands. So they absorb the water into the wetlands and discharge the water gradually into the ocean. So if you build and you fill and build, you fill and build, you fill and build, you are reducing the size of the Ramsar site, of the wetland. And so when the water comes, what is left cannot contain the water. And so it will overflow and flood people's houses. I've seen from the air, helicopter, a stream coming from the Agyapong range. And then it reaches somewhere and they've built across it. And so the stream has nowhere to continue. So it will flood your houses and flood houses of people behind. Now when government takes action and begins breaking people's houses out of the waterway, the same people will say, hey, hey, that's our problem. And part of the problem is the local councils and the assemblies. Unfortunately, our councils are not working as good as yours. You will find a house in a waterway and somebody signed a building permit for them to build there. Look at the Wager Dam. The Wager Dam provides about 30-40% of Accra's water. It has a spillway, and every year when it rains, the water reaches a level. And when it reaches that level, they have to open the spillway, otherwise it can break the dam and cause destruction downstream. In the dry season, these same traditional rulers and Shikong Cheme, owners of land, will sell land to people in the spillway of the Wager Dam. And so you start building, and then when the rains come and they open the spillway, your house is flooded with water. And he says, why isn't government doing anything about the flooding problem? It's because you went and built in a place you shouldn't have built. And so we need, one, to punish those who signed the permits for that. And so the district chief executives, I told the Minister of Local Government, we should find out who are signing the permits for people to build in these waterways. And my minister misspoke. She said we'll transfer them to the north. We're not transferring them to the north, we're sacking them. So that it serves as a deterrent. Otherwise we'll continue to have this problem. And we must have the hard heart to remove those houses that are blocking the waterways. And so if you see demolitions going on and other things, it's to protect the property of everybody.
The argument maybe you want because problems are if we continue to politicize it now, yet me and so there will be no solution to it. it doesn't contribute extra money. I mean, give you examples in the world what is going on. And I'm
okay, one mama yentio, and he now near na near person
when the president said, say, the problem and engineering, you have to understand, say, maybe say, I have always been talking about PhD, patriotism, honesty, and discipline. Discipline is a major problem in this country. One, obi ekoto sachet water or no not be atufu or titrotro. One day, 37 military hospital, run about from and here traffic ya stop. Now obi ti trotrom wagin sio free girl nijo or no yano or the atufu. Catch a girl no or no phone sio me say on fat you know in free for young girl or did he matter or more all tone station that means you Lincoln town car a Lincoln navigator share car a crime that time girl no arm for the crew did he matter because let me say at the end the panager to for on the command to on fat in free. Two, any pana on also a norm at the end in Argentina went in young fat, sachet empty, no, and kura. Now we do baby and that's what to up. You see, we have to speak the truth. And I am no say. They call campaign office, my campaign office. I say, all along, I first say a gata. Not knowing, say, and then I'm quite have you any clean? And also a sumo, but a fear. A free, a slow ebano, all along, I first say a gata. Until that, a siono tall gidigia, and cleaning, and I would say, clean water is free. Man from a briho, a slow, and ever, and then one.
Is that your personal ambition has been subordinated to the ambition of the collective, which is the ambition of the political party. So nobody's individual personal ambition is bigger than the ambition of the political party. Indeed, it is the political party which wins elections or loses elections. It's not about individuals. In any case, these individuals who are jumping over themselves and doing all kinds of funny things and so on, look at them. My brother, look at them. What is presidential about them? Oh. I'm serious. What is presidential about them? Tell me. What is presidential about these individuals jumping around and playing the fool? What is presidential about them? These individuals have become relevant or have gained some relevance because of their participation and association with the National Democratic Congress. Finish. Take any one of them and take the NDC out and see who they are. So they should stop wasting our years. They should stop wasting our time. Why? Look at the qualification for president. The qualification for president says that anybody who is 40 years and above, who qualifies to be a member of parliament, who is a Ghanaian, is qualified to be president. Alive? Huh? Yes. So there are millions of Ghanaians who qualify to be president. You understand? Millions of Ghanaians qualify to be president. So they shouldn't waste our time. They shouldn't create the impression that there are some special beings who dropped from outer space yesterday and they have some qualifications that nobody has. What qualifications do they have? All these people jumping around. If you take, assuming that academic qualification is important, I don't think it is. But let's say that some of them think that academic qualification is important. Are they the most qualified academically in their country? They are not. If you take age, are they the oldest people in this country? They are not. What criteria? Any criteria that you pick, the people jumping around will not excel above the 36 million Ghanaians. So why are they wasting our time? It is becoming nauseating. You understand? Now, one of the other principles which is important, and it's an important principle, if they intend to contest elections on the ticket of the National Democratic Congress, or if anybody intends to contest elections on the ticket of any political party, it is that party's record, history, and so on, which wins or loses elections. Okay? Now, if that is the case, why are they wasting their time and wasting our years and so on? I don't understand. And I don't want to mention individual names. But take all the people who are jumping around and are they better than other party members? There's one who has openly come out and said that he is ready. If he's chosen, he'll be president. Let me ask Eric Opoku. What makes him think that he's more qualified to be president than Dr. Anaba, who is sitting here? What makes him think that he's more qualified than Okudato Ablakwa? What makes him think that he's more qualified than Baba Jama? What makes him think that he's more qualified than Alex Egbefia? What makes him think that he's more qualified than Kalisus Mahama? What makes him think that he's more qualified than Obobia? What makes him think that? It is simply arrogance. It is arrogance. They are displaying pure arrogance. Because otherwise, why? We are working with people for the same purpose. Fifi Kwete is general secretary. He's sweating it out, trying to build the party and mobilize and so on. And you, because you've been given some small ministerial appointment, you go and sit somewhere and say, I want to be Fifi Kwete's leader. Are you better than Fifi Kwete? Are you better than Fifi Kwete? Eh? Are they better than Mahama Ayaraga? Why this? It's a shame. Complete shame. And I've said repeatedly that one of the things that worries me most is that in their quest to become presidential candidates, and I don't know why they even want to become presidential candidates, all of these people are going around saying that, oh, Mahama's term is going for only one term. That term will end in 2028. And because of that, he's going to become a lame duck very soon. You've heard it. What does that mean? What does that mean? When they say that Mahama is going to become a lame dog, what does that mean? That simply means that in a few months' time, they will not respect the president. That in a few months' time, the president cannot direct them as to what to do. He's a lame dog. He has no influence. He's nothing. Is that not insulting? Somebody appoints you to come and help achieve certain objectives and so on. After 17 months, you have decided that he's becoming a lame dog. You, the appointee, you have decided that he's becoming a lame dog. And therefore, you can do as you please. Perhaps they are lucky they have somebody like Mahama as president. Because somebody else would have sacked all of them long time ago. Sacked them, long time ago. And the funny thing, they come and say that, oh, I haven't said that I want to be president. Do you have to say it? All of these machinations on the ground, don't you know that they are being organized? All of this, and I don't want to talk about the specific machinations. They're all organized. They are funded. Are they not funding the machinations on the ground? Who can deny that all the things you see on social media, all those videos and so on, incoming president and so on, is not organized. Don't let us deceive ourselves. These are organized, funded. And it's going to cause a lot of trouble. What we are seeing now in the newspapers, this one, is only the beginning. If it's not stopped now, it will create a hell of problems for the party. Look, in the last elections, the NDC did so well. Look at the number of seats they have in parliament and so on. Somebody must wake up to the fact that verdict of the people meant something. And if you toy with what that verdict meant, they will throw you out. The same way they threw the New Patriotic Party out. They voted for something. They want to realize that's something that they voted for. And what they voted for, I dare say, is significant improvement in the quality of their citizenship and their standard of living. That is what must be delivered. And you've been given the chance to help deliver that. And you are not focusing attention on that. You are standing in the mirror every morning, looking at your face and turning your back and saying, what, me too, I'm fit to be president. You are an idiot. Sana, it's true. There's no other language that I can use. No, what other language can I use? If anybody wakes up in the morning, stands in front of the mirror, looks at himself or herself, turns her back, and comes to the conclusion that me too, I have to be president, what is that person? Tell me, how can you describe such a person? Such a person has lost it. He's lost it completely. The faculties are no longer working. It's been completely consumed by egotism. You understand? Completely consumed by egotism. That is the problem. Look, 2028 elections is going to be far more difficult than the 2024 elections. Because public expectation is high. People are going to ask important questions about how promises will be realized. A lot is going to depend on the legacy that President Mahama leaves. If President Mahama, by 2028, is not seen to have delivered on his promise, let me tell you what will happen. People are going to say, all politicians are the same. Mark it on the wall. People are going to say, they're all the same. They will all come and sweet talk us, and if you vote for them, nothing will happen. If that should happen, how can you, as a presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, win election? If that should happen, the possibility is that you can get an upstart, somebody, populist and so on, emerging to beat both the NDC and the NPP. That's a possibility. Some complete upstart, somebody populist, just come on the wave and say all politicians are the same. Don't mind the political parties again, and so on. It is a possibility for 2028. The only way of averting that for the National Democratic Congress is for the National Democratic Congress to achieve the reset agenda. People want to see the 24-hour economy program being implemented. People want to see the big push projects being realized. People want to see the Women's Development Bank being established. People want to see access to university education open and less expensive. That is what people want to see. We don't care about you being president. And I mean all of them. That is not our concern. Why? We will go and line up to vote because one of these people is going to be president. You think that is why we learn life to vote? You think that is why we wake up? Some will stand in the scorching sun for hours to go and vote because of any of these people. Do you think so? So they should focus. Look, what is terrible is that you had the whole council of elders of the party meet. The president sat in the meeting. I'm told that Mr. Atuahoy, and you probably don't know the condition of Mr. Atuahoy now. I've been to visit him in his house. The man is virtually bedridden. He's sick. He woke up from his sick bed and went to sit in this meeting because it was important for him. Check the people who went to this meeting. The sacrifices they had to go through to get to this meeting alone. And then they go and take a decision, and the very next day, that decision is being trampled under the feet. What do you think? What do you think of yourself? I am getting deeply worried by these chaps. The worst part is when I hear some people say that, oh, as for politics, once you enter politics, your ambition is to become president. What? And they say that in our face. We who are going to vote, they tell us that. Dr. Naba, do you have an ambition to become president?
I want to serve my people of Garu. That's not my ambition.
But they tell us that, oh, as a politician, your ambition is to become president. Is that your ambition? Then your ambition does not coincide with aspirations. You better step aside quickly. It's becoming such a circuit, and so on. But as I hear many people say now, look, all these people, they have been sweet-talked. They've been persuaded and so on for a long time. It's not working. It's not working. Can you imagine that 24 hours after the Council of Elders issued the statement, one minister boldly stood up and said, I still want to be president. So the time has come for the president to crack the whip, to instill discipline in his ministers. How come that questions of ministerial allocation of resources is on the front pages of newspapers? How come? Is the cabinet not working? Don't they have cabinet meetings? And these matters cannot be discussed at cabinet. They have to spill into the public domain. Yeah? Recently, I traveled outside the country. I traveled outside the country. And I met a friend of mine who is not Ghanaian. He's not Ghanaian at all. And who does development, is involved in development strategy and so on. And he met somebody from government. This is a stranger. He's not even a Ghanaian. And the person from government was telling him that his area of operation, where he's supposed to be working and so on, things are not working well. And the reason is that the Minister of Finance wants to be president. And because the Minister of Finance thinks that he is a potential challenger, the Minister of Finance is not releasing funds for his outfit to work. This is how bad things have become. This is how bad things have become. You understand? This is how bad. And you know, all of you sitting with me here, you know what I'm talking about. Don't you?
I'm learning.
No, you know. You are a member of parliament. You know these things have come to your attention. Are you going to deny? Okay, deny. Dr. Anaba, you are allowed to deny. If what I'm saying is not true, just say that it's not true.
Senior comrade.
You all know. So, something is not working in some sector. You say, hey, Atufosin wants to be president, so he's not giving me the necessary resources. Is that how you want to run this government? Is that how you want to run your government? Is that how you want to win election 2028? Hey, you people, you are taking the people of Ghana for granted. Oh. And any government which has taken the people of Ghana for granted has fallen. Check our history. So, why? President Mahama, everybody is looking after you. Take the necessary measures to restore sanity in your government. You understand? One of the other problems that crops up, the chief of staff has been mentioned as somebody who is also interested. You understand? You all know, again. Now, he is supposed to be sitting on top of the machinery, the ministerial machinery. How does he now resolve interministerial conflicts when he himself is supposed to be interested in becoming president? How does he instill discipline? If it is true that Mr. Julius Debra is interested in becoming president, this matter that has come up between Atufosin and Eric Opoku, how is he going to resolve it? As chief of staff, how can he resolve it when he himself is said to be interested in the same thing? So please, as for us, we are citizens, so we are voters. We have no ambition to become president. If you don't serve our interests, we'll throw you out. That's all.
Well, interesting. The way in which we keep looking for witnesses here. I deny knowing about any of this.
Well, I'm not Ghanaians. Don't you hear what is happening? You say no more than anybody here. History. This is perhaps one of the most useless wars, that has been fought. This is a war which has been fought, led to the loss of many lives, led to the destruction of many things and so on, and has not achieved any of its objectives. You see, according to the United States and Israel, they went to this war in order to ensure that Iran doesn't build a nuclear weapon. They also claim that they went into this war to ensure that there was regime change in Iran and so on. Now look at the demands that the U.S. is making today. The U.S. is negotiating. Look at what it is asking for. The U.S. is asking for, one, a commitment from Iran that they will not produce a nuclear weapon. That commitment existed before the war. That commitment had already been made by Iran before the war. They are asking for it now. Now, the U.S. is saying that regime change is not possible. Only a couple of days ago, Donald Trump was praising the new Ayatollah, praising him to the high heavens. So that has not been possible. If you look at what the U.S. wants now, they want the Strait of Hormuz to be opened. It was opened before the war. So this is a particularly useless war, caused so much suffering around the world.
In the US.
Look at what it's doing to the economies of all countries in the world. Nothing has been achieved. But why? Is it surprising? This is Donald Trump who came into office, wanted the Panama Canal for the US, wanted to annex Canada, wanted to have Greenland, and so none of it was realistic. Just chasing phantoms. He wanted the Nobel Peace Prize. He didn't get it. Somebody got it. He took it from her. You understand? Yes. Crazy. Absolute crazy. So this is a particularly useless war. And the earlier they stopped it, the better. I mean, just pack their things and go home, as they did in Vietnam, as they did in Iraq, and so on. They've lost the war. It's clear. One of the other things which is happening is this craze about Lebanon. You know, Israel waging a completely senseless war in Lebanon. They are negotiating with the Lebanese government without Hezbollah. Okay. And they think that they can reach a peace accord with the Lebanese government, which is not involved in the fighting. How do you go and negotiate a ceasefire with a party which is not involved in the fighting? But that's how Israel is behaving. Okay. Now, they are saying that they want the Lebanese government, or the Lebanese army, to disarm Hezbollah. They don't understand Lebanon. They don't know anything. Why? The Lebanese army has everybody in there, including Hezbollah people, are in the Lebanese army. How do you use this army to disarm Hezbollah? It is not possible. In any case, yesterday I listened to an interview which was carried out by France 24. They went to Lebanon, South Lebanon, and they were interviewing people about Hezbollah's decision not to participate in the peace talks and to reject the outcome and so on. And Senna, France 24, 100% of the people who were interviewed, 100%, not 99%, 100% of the people who were interviewed supported Hezbollah's position. I said, if you disarm Hezbollah, who is there to defend us? Hezbollah cannot be defeated. It cannot be dismantled. It's a crazy idea. The only way out is a negotiated settlement of the Middle East crisis, of the Palestinian question. The only way out is the guarantee of an independent state of Palestine with its own defense mechanism and with assurances that it would not, its internal arrangement would not be interfered with the way Israel is doing now. The Oslo Accord offered a way out. Israel has trampled on the Oslo Accord. Now Netanyahu says that no, he would not even accept the two-state solution. And so what would he accept? Total annihilation of Palestine, which is not possible. It is not possible to completely annihilate Palestine. Now, you know what is happening? Here you have Donald Trump. And all the surveys indicate that he's losing the midterm elections in November. Everything indicates that. You go to Israel, all the indicators are that Netanyahu will lose any elections. Any elections he will lose. So these are two losers who are struggling to overcome their imminent defeat. And they are misbehaving to the chagrin of the rest of the world as well. What has happened in Iran is a complete embarrassment. This is a demonstration that America is nothing but a paper tiger. Of course, we have known that all the years. They've now confirmed it. They lost the war in Vietnam. They lost the war in Iraq. They lost the war in Afghanistan. The attempt to overthrow the Castro regime failed, and so on. It's a paper tiger. The problem is that the paper tiger is causing too much confusion around the world. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And of course, if you want to understand Africa's place